Peep the Penelope in the background.
Peep Penelope.
Peep Penelope.
Or Penelope.
Penelope.
That was easier.
Dula Peep.
All right. We have Cheryl being escorted out of bio class after she really annoyingly was like, I'm guilty. That was, I feel like low-key, it sounded a lot like Cheryl just said. But she says, I'm guilty. And then she gets whisked away to Principal Weatherby and Sheriff Keller. Well, she's like, well, obviously I didn't kill Jason.
Yeah. I mean, she loves him more than anyone. She loves him more than herself.
She loves him more than she should.
Oh. Luckily, before she can say too much to the coppers, Sheriff Keller, that is, she is kind of dragged out of the interrogation room by her parents, Clifford and Penelope Blossom.
Yes. We've seen them before, but I don't know if we talked about them that much.
No, because I think this is their first big, like, speaking lines.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're like,
contracting.
She's a liar. Yeah. Don't let her talk. But she does say, like, hey, I knew Jason wasn't dead. Like, when the Sweetwater River alleged drowning happened, because, like, he was like, I'm gonna fake my death.
Yeah, so that he could run away with Polly.
Yes. And she was like, I don't know. I just went with it.
Yeah.
And I did hear the shot. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And why would we believe you lied to us? And she's like, it happened.
It happens. Literally, like, lies happen. That's kind of our big update, though, in the murder case, is that Jason was actively fleeing Riverdale to be with Polly, who is still only been referred to.
We have not seen her.
She's still interred at the Sisters of Quiet Mercy.
Yes.
Silent Mercy?
Quiet. I don't even think they've said that yet. We'll see it. Don't worry.
Don't you worry. I'm a sister myself.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I've been...
And this is a tangent, but it is referenced in the Pretty Little Liars original sin reboot. Just so everybody's clear.
Just so everyone is clear on all fronts about what we do on this pod.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much happens in this episode.
Yeah. It's honestly insane. So should we get into it?
We should get into it. Yeah.
Okay.
So Archie finally comes clean about Shotgate.
Yeah.
But minus the Grundy part. He's just like, hey, I heard a shot, like not the shot, but like I heard the shot that Cheryl was talking about.
Yes. On July 4th.
The shot
that was heard.
And they were like, was anyone with you? And he was like, yes. And then they're like, oh my God. And he's like, my dog Vegas. Yeah. So that's kind of crazy for him to say.
#Vegas. But yeah, so this is really corroborating Cheryl's story too, which is a big thing that like it really like takes the blame off of her for a potential murder charge. So that's a really nice one for Archie to finally come forward with this gunshot stuff.
Yes.
In addition to all of the good things that result in Archie being truthful about this, exonerating Cheryl's always a plus.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Archie is no longer holding on to Shotgate, but we still need to know who actually did the shot.
Oh, and who did it?
Everyone
stay alert.
Everyone stay alert. Stay tuned. Stay safe.
Because you may remember that Alice Cooper did leak Jason's autopsy report. So Betty's kind of like, whoa, the media coverage on this is all crazy. I'm going to restart the school's newspaper to get the truth out there. The blue and gold. Betty is really trying to get to the bottom of the case, and to do so, she has kind of recruited Jughead to also join her in the school paper, which has been like defunct for
who even knows? A while.
Like these computers give like 90s.
They do this whole. It looks like they would pick up a book and go like, and there'd be dust.
Very that. And we confirmed that in this episode it is 2017.
Yes, because they mention something about like making a murderer.
And I think Kevin does.
Yeah, and the first season of that was 2015.
Yeah.
And the second season of that, which they don't mention, is 2018. So it's got to be somewhere in between 2015 and 2018, which feels right for the 2017 timeline.
Yes. So It's 2017. Betty's restarting the blue and gold. Jughead's joining. We get our second In Cold Blood mention
We do.
of the series.
Yeah, and Jughead's like holding up a little magnifying glass.
It's really
giving
silly.
cinematography.
Oh, kind of that's where this plot gets set off, is in the direction of, okay, Archie's shot gate is kind of released. We're still asking that big question of who did the shot on July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Jughead, of all people, is gonna really be the one to like.
Oh yeah, he is on the case.
On that case, because that's kind of his beat.
Mm-hmm.
That's the article that he's been like assigned to write. Betty has other journalistic intentions at hand.
Oh yeah.
For this episode,
and it's something to behold.
It's something to behold.
Fred does end up grounding Archie.
Yes.
Because of the whole not mentioning the hearing a gunshot situation.
That's unfortunate.
And I think Fred is probably right for this.
I think while I understand the desire of like, hey, you're my teen son, you're involved in a murder trial, maybe you stay at home more often.
Yeah.
Maybe you stay like off the streets.
Yeah,
off the
but
backwoods,
maybe
out of the cars.
Grounding.
I feel like he did it in a very like, I'm blaming you, or
like, and also
you did
like
something.
If
he did things wrong, but I feel like it came off in a very like, I'm punishing you way, and that felt weird to me. He framed it as like 2 weeks, you're home after school.
7 p.m.
I guess that's a long time, actually.
I know. I feel like he's still giving him leeway. Like, yeah. I don't know.
I guess that's football practice, though. Is like the only thing he can go to.
Yeah. And that'll come up again.
Because the reason that Archie is like really bugged out about this new 7 p.m. curfew is that with no time after football practice, he doesn't have time to practice his music anywhere.
Right.
And like, we can't sacrifice the music.
Yeah,
we could never sacrifice.
You forget
the music,
he's a triple threat.
You forget, like, I don't.
What are the three? I don't know. Football, football, construction, and
music.
Music. Yeah. There we go. I got there.
Honestly, that's a pretty stacked like 3.
It is. So a little beforehand, we had been in the student lounge, and Veronica's like, "I have a date with Chuck Clayton," and everybody's like, "Hey, he's a bit of a player." And she's like, "I know he's hot."
And Kevin's the only one to be like, "Oh my gosh, who cares if he's a player? Like, he's so hot." I don't know. It's just a silly dynamic.
It is. It is funny. It's giving us.
To be fair, she is very in the camp of like, oh, I can take care of myself. Like, I'm Veronica Lodge.
Yeah.
Like, if he tries anything, I'll just get him.
Mm-hmm. And well,
he tries some stuff.
Yes.
So we see the date. They're outside of Pops, the only place you can have a date in Riverdale.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're gay, then you go to the woods.
Very that.
So, long story short, they're outside Pops. They take an atrocious selfie.
It is really bad. And he's like, okay, here, like, you can vet it or whatever. And she's like, looks great. No, girl, it doesn't.
She's like dead-eyed. Like, it's not a great picture, but I mean, pop off. They have a little goodnight kiss. That's like it. That's all that happens on this date.
Yes.
And like, Chuck so far seems decent.
Yeah, he's like, oh, like, you know,
my dad's the football coach. Like,
I've
we
got
moved
Ivy
here.
League aspirations.
Yeah, like, which made me think, is Chuck older than them? Like,
yeah, that was a weird one.
Is he like a junior, senior?
Oh yeah, and he would have been friends with Jason,
who we have talked about is inexplicably in a class above them,
even though he's Cheryl's twin. So yeah, they shared a womb.
They shared more than a womb.
They've shared a lot.
So Chuck, though, Chuck is, like, yeah, all right guy, kind of milquetoast, but like not a villain outright.
Yeah. Until
it's the next day at school.
Yeah, there's a 180, and well, we have Cheryl's unnamed minions.
It's like Ginny and Marjorie or something.
Yeah, something
like
crazy
something
like that.
Not unnamed minions.
Yes, but like.
This is their first speaking line. And
yes.
Maybe last.
Yeah, honestly. And they feel like they've worn the same thing the whole time. I don't know.
I really like them, guys.
I really like. Also, I just realized the one in the front kind of looks like Mikey Madsen.
And you know what? We can't prove that that's not her.
Yeah.
It's the next day at school after the date. Veronica's like at her locker with Betty and Kevin. And then Cheryl's 2 unnamed minions walk by. And they're like, whoa, Veronica, how was that sticky maple last night?
Mm-hmm.
And like, Veronica's like, excuse me?
The what?
What? The what? And the second minion is like, yeah, Chuck gave you a big old sticky maple, didn't he? And it's like, whoa,
guys.
Whoa.
And you may have questions like, what the fuck is a sticky maple?
And we have the same exact question.
And we have the same question, and they're like, oh, it's just a Riverdale thing.
Kevin is like, oh yeah, that's just sadly a thing that happens in this town.
But so first off, here's that picture that we talked about that wasn't the best.
And Chuck has superimposed a sticky maple syrup splash onto Veronica's face.
And so my question is, what the hell is a sticky maple? This doesn't clear it up.
No, it doesn't.
I'm confused because I'm assuming it's not actual maple syrup that they're talking about. Yeah. But then like, why superimpose? I don't know. I just feel like it's crazy.
Because this honestly is kind of the first inkling that we really do get that Riverdale actually is a maple syrup export town.
Oh my God, you're right.
Like,
oh my God, this is like the first time
the first time we really address...
There's a maple syrup obsession in Riverdale.
Because it's the only export. Like, it's the town's business.
It really is for now.
And this isn't where they talk about it. I guess we can get more into it later, but it's the fact that the Blossoms own the major maple syrup factory, farm.
The Groves.
So that's why the Blossoms are more wealthy and in power. But yeah, maple syrup is big in Riverdale. And this is they chose the weirdest way to establish that
they really did.
Culture of maple syrup.
Yes.
I'm noticing this in real time, guys. Chuck isn't the one who posted this. The account is Lena Murray.
Really?
And it says, OMG, you gotta go, V. Stop giving us a bad rap. Hashtag girl power. Hashtag sticky maple. Hashtag bye. Veronica's not having it. She's seen the sticky maple superimposed, and she's on a warpath.
She really is. I was gonna say warpath. I was gonna say that. It was the exact same verbiage.
Like this, I think we've seen. I was gonna say this is one of our first times. Veronica's like this every episode.
She is,
and it's so iconic.
Yeah, she really takes up the cause.
Her single string of pearls. Ugh. Betty is flustered. Betty's like, Veronica, you're bucking the status quo.
Girl, you're crazy. We can't take you anywhere.
Yeah. So I don't follow rules.
Mm-hmm.
I make them, and when necessary, I break them.
Which is,
yeah, and she really does.
And she also says a spectacular line where she says, "I'm not a slut, nor will I be shamed by someone named, excuse me, Chuck Clayton," which is awesome because I love that we're like acknowledging the fact that the names in this fucking show are crazy.
For now. We're acknowledging it for now.
Yeah, and then
I think they get a little lost in the sauce.
They do, but at least we're like, okay, Chuck Clayton is a crazy name. Yeah. Like CC, like we've got a lot of alliteration. Archie Andrews. Yeah. We've got a lot. Yeah.
She's on her warpath and she goes directly to the source, which is Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
But where is he at?
The boys' locker room.
Oh my.
Ooh.
And let's just say Veronica steamrolls in, Betty in tow, and they come across. Whoa.
Ooh, he almost drops his towel.
Archie, chest out, lower V exposed.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And oh my.
Oh my.
It was so nice we had to include it twice.
Oh yes, of course.
Really crazy. This was pivotal. You may notice Veronica's hand gripped on Betty's wrist in shock and like excitement,
arousal.
Us for real. That's crazy.
That's very this came on and I remembered this. See, last episode we talked a lot about the fact that some of us remember something, some of us remember. I remember this.
Mm-hmm. I was there when it was written.
I've been on the ground floor of this.
I've been on the ground
floor. I also mentioned that I never understood the KJ Appa like thirst in this until this watch through, and I'm like, suddenly I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my.
Archie's Archie got hot.
No, that's I can't say it enough. It's really upsetting.
It is. It's almost like distracting.
Because also taking a step out, it's kind of weird that in this show where there's a statutory plot, that they're like over sexualizing Archie.
Yes.
Kind of strange.
It's very
work.
Ryan Murphy of
it's
them.
very Ryan Murphy. But KJ's fully of age, always has been, always will be. So
Yeah.
that got weird, actually. KJ's of age, and it's chill, guys. So yeah, it is weird on the show, but I don't think it's necessarily weird of us.
Yeah, I don't think no.
But Archie's got really hot, guys.
He really did. It's breathtaking.
He's not the only one in this little locker room scenario. Veronica storms in. They bump into Archie. He's like, guys. And then they're like, no time for you.
Yeah.
And they go to Chuck. Veronica does a full confrontation. And Chuck is like, sorry, girl. Like, you shouldn't have done it with me if you didn't want the consequences.
Yeah.
And Moose, of all people, is behind him like, yeah. And I'm like, Moose.
Moose. Now shut the fuck up.
Know your place. Know your place, Moose.
Stay in your damn lane.
Stay in your gay lane. So, bye. Bye, Lane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Bye, Lane. I'm erasure. I'm sorry.
Canceled.
Moose is bye, confirmed. We'll get to that later.
We will.
Anywho, Chuck is basically like, Veronica, you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. And then all the boys are like, whoa. And they bark. They bark.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
They bark Betty and Veronica out of the boys' locker room. It's so scary.
And I was saying that if that fucking happened to me, I'd shit my pants and cry and curl into a ball and like throw up all at the same time.
So they are barked out of the locker room. Nothing really got solved. But Veronica's still on her warpath.
Don't even worry about it.
And now Betty's kind of been dragged along. Quite physically, quite literally.
But we have Jughead, who has been sent on his merry way to confront Dilton about the shot. And well, he's gonna do that.
Oh, he's doing it. Oh, will he?
So,
and Dilton, mind you, is still the troop leader of the Adventure Scouts. The Riverdale chapter, question mark? I don't know if they...
Oh my God, you're right. I think it's supposed to be like Boy Scouts, but like they can't. Or also, Cub Scouts, and they can't say that.
Yeah, and I think also rewatching, when I did my first watch through, I definitely thought Dilton was like an adult for some reason.
Oh.
Because he was in charge of the other kids.
He's a child.
And I realized that now. And they make that clear throughout, but for some reason, when I was doing my first watch, I was like, "Oh, Dilton's like a man."
No, that is a boy.
That is a boy. What were you saying about Dilton? I kind of got lost in the sauce.
Oh no, you're fine. Jughead just goes up to Dilton when he's. I love this picture. Oh my God, I love this picture. Sorry, I don't know why I do, but it's just
why.
I do. Guys, I have an unfortunate crush on Cole Sprouse. I just think I need to make that.
From the way we talk about
you wouldn't know it, but like it's unfortunate and it's sad and it does persist. But I love this picture because it's giving UPS driver and like the edgy teen going to sign for the package. Anyways, but yeah, Jughead is like, hey Dilton, you
were there.
You were there
on the day of the shot. You're the only person that's like nobody's talked about. Like, what's up? Like, I hear that there were strange goings on.
Yes, and Dilton's like, I don't know why the fuck you're talking to me.
Yeah, it
wasn't me.
He says that exactly.
Like, leave me alone. Get out of here. And all of his minion children are like cowering in fear in their line.
Yeah. So Jughead leaves this kind of like disheartened, but still with his convictions.
Oh yeah.
And mirroring Veronica's initial rebuff on her path towards her goal.
Oh my God, you're right. We're doing two separate
We're doing the
paths.
Hero's journey every episode of Riverdale.
We really are.
Notoriously, Cheryl and Archie are both in bio class. Cheryl's kind of like thanking Archie for corroborating her story. Kind of with the like, since he also heard a gunshot, it proves that Cheryl wasn't making it up, proves that she wasn't making up the Jason skipping town story.
Right.
So as favor, Cheryl is like, oh my gosh, Archie, I'll give you anything you want.
She says, nothing is off limits except for my body.
Crazy.
But you wouldn't know it by the way she's biting that lip.
You would not know it. Because I think in the same way that last episode we talked about Archie being redhead football captain, in some ways I think Cheryl's brain is very like That's my brother.
That's my brother.
That's my
And
brother.
well, I have feelings for my brother.
And so she has feelings for Archie projection.
Yes.
So Cheryl's Archie projection wanted Jason nachos so bad.
Oh my God.
Cheryl makes this proposition of like, you've got a boon, Archie. Anything you want. And he's like, well, one thing does come to mind. My Archie voice is always crazy.
It's great.
He's like, well, one thing does come to mind. And it's, in fact, a private rehearsal session with the Pussycats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And not in the way that you would think, just in an actual way. But this is kind of the introduction of Josie and Cheryl being good friends, which will come back up.
Which comes out of nowhere to me.
Yeah.
But like, I get it makes sense.
Yeah.
Is Josie also a year older than them? Nah, right?
I feel like she's a nebulous,
Eternal,
ageless being.
That's actually so accurate. But basically, with the Cheryl boon, Archie sets up a rehearsal time with the Pussycats. Since his private lessons have been canceled, he needs an outlet for his music. Josie's like, fine, we're practicing a bunch this week for my mom, Mayor McCoy's event, The Taste of Riverdale. Weird event, whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, you can come practice at our set like this throughout, like the evenings throughout this week. And Archie's like, whoa, my dad grounded me though. How am I gonna get there? And Josie could not care less.
She literally says nothing, and Archie goes, right, it's not your problem. I'll figure it out.
And honestly, I need Archie's energy. I need that to be Archie's energy throughout the rest of the show.
Yes.
And it's not. It's not. Because, anywho. But that's kind of where Archie gets his sneaking out kick.
Yeah, he gets a sneaking out arc.
Because he has to make it to rehearsals.
Yeah, he does need to make it to rehearsals. And in this rehearsal, I just am obsessed with Josie so much. Because she's like, and what could you possibly know about the experience of being a diva with color?
And honestly...
And Archie goes, you're right, I don't.
And that's honestly, again, I wish Archie kept that energy up.
And I'm just like obsessed with her shushing him. She's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's really like, I do like the Josie and the Pussycats Archie dynamic.
It's amazing.
I'm sorry, guys. It's a fun dynamic.
It is. It's giving frat baby.
Yeah. But in not the way you would expect.
He's just there.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. Like, you do your thing.
They're like hazing him heavy.
Yeah.
But this is also the episode where we get like more interactions from, I think it's Valerie and Melody.
Correct, yes.
The other Pussycats. I love them.
I love them so much.
They're not problematic at all.
No.
Like, genuinely, I know I kind of giggled at that, but
no, I really
it's just
think
because everyone else is so problematic.
Yeah, everyone else makes such interesting decisions, and they're just there for the music.
Yeah. And Archie thinks he's there for the music. Could not be further from the truth.
No, it couldn't. Oh my gosh.
Veronica, though. We're cutting back to Veronica.
Yeah, we've cut back to Veronica. She's been summoned to a girl squad meeting.
A girl squad meeting. She's still reviewing all of the comments. They're very Google Doc coded.
Yes.
And they're really getting under her skin because she's been maligned, lied about, and deceived.
And it seems like the whole town is like, yeah, stupid bitch. And it's like, oh my God.
And that's a lot. That's a lot.
And that's a lot, Robin.
That's a lot, Robin. So she gets called to Girl Squad meeting, and Betty has summoned them all there. She's doing her beat of the week for her Blue and Gold article is about the sticky maples of it all. And she's calling all of the survivors of the football team.
Yes.
Like, date accusations. And that includes Veronica now. So Veronica kind of joins the Girl Squad meeting, pictured in the center.
Ethel Muggs.
Ethel motherfucking Muggs.
She's not just a side character, okay? She stays in this damn show for a long ass time.
Ethel
I
Muggs
love her.
Is that girl.
She is that girl.
Like, it's crazy. But pictured here, she's kind of leading the Girl Squad meeting. It comes out in this conversation. The football team keeps a list.
They keep like a black book
of all of the girls that they've like done it with. They keep a log even of like when they first started talking to them and when they like got it and when they
they score.
They like, Yeah, the entire football team is in on it of a certain class.
Yes.
I think it's the seniors.
We think it's like
but
junior,
also
seniors,
Reggie's on
they're,
it.
but he might be, who knows? Who knows? The varsity squad.
Varsity squad, but Archie's not on it. But I guess Archie just joined varsity.
But also Archie wouldn't be on it.
Archie wouldn't be on it, but maybe they tried to like, maybe they're trying to get him on it now because he just joined the squad.
That's true.
The team.
The squad.
The squad. The list comes out in the girl squad meeting. Veronica's like, whoa, that's crazy.
Because it is.
It is. Cheryl overhears and is like, that's crazy in the way that I don't believe y'all. Jason would never do that. JJ would never. Like, y'all are all lying. I don't believe you.
And she says, like, okay, sluts, it's time for practice.
Yeah.
And Veronica is not having a beat of this.
Veronica's like, I don't care what you think. I never met Jason, but I know what happened to me isn't a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So back off. Join us or get out of my way.
And she's like, don't ever call us sluts again.
Yeah.
Not even as fun.
Not even as fun. Hey guys, don't call us sluts. Not even as fun.
Not even as fun.
Not even as fun.
But if it's not fun, then go ahead. I guess.
With this new information, Veronica, you guessed it, back on the warpath.
Oh yeah.
So she has a new thing to find. Betty has a new thing to search for. It's the book. It's the list. They're looking for hardcore evidence, and they need the physical proof because apparently these girls have been going to Principal Weatherby already, and he just doesn't believe them without evidence.
Which is awful, and I feel like inconsistent with
evidence.
Weatherby.
Like, yeah. Is it?
I don't know.
Season 1, Weatherby, you're right.
I don't know. In my head, I have this little headcanon that Weatherby's like the nicest guy ever. And that's not true, but like,
not true.
I think I'm projecting.
That's so valid.
And well, on the other warpath.
Jughead is interrogating a child.
And well, we're at Pops.
One of Dilton's scouts.
Jughead is interrogating this young child at Pops. And the way that he decides to enter into this has stuck with me for a long time.
Right.
And because of my aforementioned very unfortunate Cole Sprouse crush, well, Jughead comes and takes the cherry from the milkshake of this young child and puts in his mouth. And well, let's just say it did things to me.
LOL.
And so then after that awesome experience for me, he is still talking to this child.
Yeah.
He's grilling him on the fact that Dilton was definitely involved in the shot.
Dilton was definitely involved in the shot.
Oh yeah. I like how it's like we're the targets of this.
Dilton would get us if he could.
He so would.
So he's teaching his children how to shoot guns by Sweetwater River at 6 a.m. on the 4th of July.
Like,
crazy work.
Oh my God.
Like, why, Dilton? Why to every part of that?
And the child is like, he's a hardcore survivalist.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this poor child's probably traumatized by Dilton.
And aren't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we all? That was, I think, after school they were at Pops.
Yes.
Jughead after school interrogating the child at Pops.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting to be like evening. It's the night of the big break-in.
Oh, yeah. And so we've got Betty, Ethel, Kevin, and Veronica.
And Cheryl.
And she's like, oh, a B&E with B and V? Oh my God, I love that. Oh my God, I love that.
Breaking and entering with Betty and Veronica. Oof. That's Cheryl. They're sneaking around school looking for the list, and they find it.
They find it really easily. It's just
easily.
Like in an unlocked locker.
Yeah, and it has all of the like evidence that they need. It includes all of the entries on Veronica, Ethel, and Polly Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Next to Jason's name.
So that's crazy.
So Cheryl's proven wrong that Jason did participate in the list. Betty's kind of vindicated in the fact that, like, whoa, they really, like, treated my sister really poorly. She's been driven into a asylum because of this. Mm-hmm. And, like, this is really crazy.
If you look, Ethel's in there. She's in there a couple times.
The first one,
Chuck is trying to get to her. And then we see Reggie, second week score. Hello? Did him and Ethel sleep together?
It's still not canon because Veronica was also put in the list, and it was a lie that Chuck got with her.
Right.
I hate to think that it's canon because it's bad for Ethel in the situation. But the fact that Reggie Mantle and Ethel Muggs might have hooked up is so funny.
It's
to me.
perfect,
It's
honestly.
actually perfect.
And I kind of ship it.
They match each
Rethel.
other's freak. Rethel?
Rethel. Or Edgy.
Edgy!
Edgy!
This list, it like sets Betty off because she kind of came along with the search of like, I'm going to help Veronica out. Like, we're going to get the proof so we can go to Weatherby. But then seeing Polly's name in the book and like how they're treating her, it kind of makes her go vigilante mode.
It really does.
Like,
she's on her vigilante shit.
And Veronica's like, you know what? I support it. Let's do it. Like, we're gonna get them. So they kind of try to target Chuck specifically. That's where we leave the list discovery.
We have Archie, and he's back with Josie and the Pussycats. And now they're workshopping lyrics for a song that they are going to sing. Not Archie, but Josie and them are going to be singing at the Taste of Riverdale.
Yeah. And Archie actually kind of gets his 2 cents in.
Yes,
it's kind of exciting.
He does. Like, he's workshop. He's like, okay, we need to invert the first and the third chorus, and like he's cheesing at them.
Yeah,
it's cute.
Really cute. It's KJ's being his little charming self.
He is.
And Archie wraps up the rehearsal with the Pussycats that night. He's gotten some input on the songs, and he's sneaking back into his house, but Fred stayed up for him, and he got found out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Fred's like, "What the hell? You're grounded. You can't just do whatever you want." And Archie's like, "Well, you know what, Dad? If this was a football rehearsal, you wouldn't care,
or
would
like
you?"
A football game, like basically Archie's saying, like, you should let me go to the Taste of Riverdale to see a song that I helped make. If it was a football game, you'd let me go because you understand that. You don't understand me. It's odd. I'm not your little boy anymore. I want to go to music school.
I want to go to Juilliard,
Dad.
This has given Fred pause.
This has given Fred, like, maybe I should explore this music thing he's into. Like, maybe I should go to the event and see it. Archie's like, fine, I won't go. I'm going to sneak out and go. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
That's kind of where we leave them.
Yes, we do leave them there. And then we enter the Cooper household.
Oh, do we enter the Cooper household?
This scene was very pivotal for me. And this is just a character building way. This isn't even me just thirsting after people. It's like in a this is awesome kind of way.
Oh, this is awesome kind of way.
Because Betty has seduced Scarlet lipstick that she's putting on. Because remember, she's about to go try to get Chuck, get him back somehow. We don't know their plan yet.
But Betty's deep on her warpath. Alice sees that she's putting on Polly's old Seduction Scarlet lipstick, and she's like, Diva, never cry. Like, take that off. You're not like the rest of those girls. Don't you dare.
Yeah, she's really feeding Betty's not like other girl complex.
Yeah. And so she literally like gets a little like a makeup thingy and like smears the scarlet off of her lips and gives a little pep talk. She's like,
here, Perfection Pink. It's a lot more you. Ooh, and this shot.
The cinematography of Riverdale, I'm sorry, guys. It's really well shot.
It is really well shot, and I love it.
Like, it's really, really good. Despite Alice's best efforts, this does not sway Betty in the slightest. Of course
it doesn't. Because a lot like Jughead, when Betty gets her mind on something, she's doing it.
Oh, full send.
Full send, she is doing it, and it doesn't matter what anybody says, thinks, or and if you try to stop her, it'll make her want to do it more.
And does she want to do it?
Oh yeah, she does.
We're here.
It's
so important, guys.
So Betty has gone to Pops, by the way, before this to talk to Chuck in a Rosie the Riveter outfit.
That's really weird.
How I feel
that
about
was her seduction Scarlet lip was to invite Chuck on a date.
Oh,
That's kind of the
yes.
reveal. Their plan is kind of getting revealed to us. She's like, I actually want to be a bit of a bad girl. Chuck, can you teach me?
Mm-hmm.
And Chuck is like, boing, yeah.
Yeah, he really is. He's like, oh.
And so she's like, come over to Ethel's house. She has a hot tub. She's going to let us use it. My girl Ethel, she'll hook us up.
Mm-hmm.
If only Betty and Ethel stayed girls.
I know.
Anywho. So Betty is luring Chuck to Ethel's house.
Mm-hmm.
Her like indoor pool room.
Yeah.
It's a really nice space.
It's really nice.
Which does not track with anything else that we learn about Ethel's
home life.
Yeah. But
I agree.
But love this for now.
Mm-hmm.
When Chuck arrives though, who should open the door but Veronica.
Veronica.
Bum, bum, bum. Chuck opens the door. It's Veronica. And he's like, whoa, what are you doing here, Veronica? And she's like, Betty and I decided to stop fighting over Archie and learn how to share. That good for you?
And he's like, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Sounds great.
Sounds
Where do
great.
I sign? Where do I sign up?
Yeah. And he kind of follows Veronica in. Veronica starts getting into the hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
Just her little feetsies. Betty comes out, and she's not Betty.
This is Dark Betty.
This is Dark Betty. We made it to Dark Betty. We made it to Dark Betty.
And this is to that song, by the way. You know, the one that's like...
Chuck and Veronica are flabbergasted.
They really are. Veronica's kind of giving her the up and down. Like,
Veronica's
see?
looking up and down. Ups and downs. No. She's Dark Betty.
She is. And she has a fuck-ass wig on.
Fuck-ass Bob.
Fuck-ass Bob. And that wig, it's not going anywhere.
No. It is glued down.
Mm-hmm.
I just know
Barbara, she's here to stay.
She's here to stay.
But we do get a glorious up-close shot of Dark Betty.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's so iconic.
It's so iconic. And this is a taste of what's to come.
It is a taste of Riverdale,
even. A taste of Riverdale, even. So...
like mother, like daughter.
Like mother, like daughter. Context of the Taste of Riverdale event. The Pussycats are on stage performing. Mayor McCoy gave a little brief speech. This is really like parent city.
It is.
Like
all the parents are like in the same room.
I kind of loved it.
I do too.
It's really good when they get together. Mm-hmm. Alice is on her own warpath.
She's like, hey, Penelope, do you care to comment about your daughter fucking lying?
Or should I like expose more like family documents?
Or like, what's up?
And like Penelope Dexter.
And it's nice because at this point I think we all want to do that to Alice. Even though we love her, she does need to be humbled.
She does need to be humbled. And who better to humble you than Penelope Blossom?
And this is very Gale Weathers getting hit in the face. Now, Penelope Blossom is not Sidney Prescott. Don't get that twisted.
She's nothing of the type and she'll never be that girl.
But Alice Cooper and Gale Weathers?
Alice Cooper and Gale Weathers, sisters.
Mm-hmm. Soul sisters.
Dare I say, Alice Cooper, Gale Weathers. Penelope fully decks Alice, and like Clifford of all people is like, "Whoa, honey, stop!" And like, I love that these divas just go for it.
I love them, and I love a good bitch slap.
Yeah, always. So, speaking of all of the parents being there, we kind of circle around the room.
Mm-hmm.
We see that Fred, as he was thinking about attending the event, actually is there. He's kind of like talking with different people, like getting a listen in on the Pussycats performance. And he's talking with Geraldine Grundy.
And this scene is very like, ooh, what does he know? Now, we know he doesn't know
anything. But Grundy's like freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, he's about to accuse me any second. And who is up there in the rafters who snuck out to attend the Taste of Riverdale event? Archiekins. Fred is like, Grundy, give it to me straight. Does my son have a chance in the music industry? And Grundy's like, it's going to be rough. It's going to be tough. But he's got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And Archie doesn't hear this, but he sees his dad talking with Grundy. He's up in the rafters with Jughead of all people.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're watching the Pussycat performance.
And it's a good performance. I liked the song.
It is good. I like it.
An original song. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah. But Jughead, I think, interrogates Dilton at this event as well.
Yes.
And
he's like, listen, I know you were the one that shot the gun. You gotta come give a statement or I'm gonna tell the police.
Yeah. And so, spoiler alert, Dilton agrees to that. But
he does.
Before we get to that,
we have a lovely Alice scene where Alice is being awful and she's saying to Hermione that, you know, shame about the whole sticky maple situation, you know, slut shaming. It's when sluts get shamed. Oh my God. And then she knocks back a milkshake shot.
Yeah. Non-alcoholic.
But it might be. The way that she's putting that thing back.
I love Alice. It's so unhinged.
It's kind of giving Pepto. It's giving me at the club.
This as hell. And so Hermione's like, oh my God, wait, I actually don't know. Do you know where your kids are? She doesn't. So she's like, wait, maybe I should actually call Veronica. Veronica's not taking calls right now.
Oh, Veronica can't come to the phone right now.
Because she's using it to film.
Oh, yes, she's
using it to film Dark Betty.
Mm-hmm.
Who has drugged Chuck.
Fully drugged Chuck with muscle relaxers and alcohol. And he's
passed out. Chained
up in the fucking hot tub.
Yeah. It got dark real quick.
It got dark.
So
Hints Dark Betty.
So she's cooking him.
She's boiling Chuck.
It's 110 degrees in this hot tub. Betty is interrogating him, trying to ask, like, admit what happened that night with Veronica. Admit you're lying. He does.
And she's not stopping.
Veronica's like, okay, we did it, Betty. We did it. And Betty's like, admit it, Jason. Admit what you did to me. Admit what you did to Polly. Admit it, Jason.
And she starts drowning him with maple syrup.
Waterboarded with sticky maple of his own.
It's crazy.
And she starts like pushing him down
with her heel. Oh my God. Y'all, this is so iconic.
It's so good. Dark Betty. Chuck is just like spilling his guts, but he's not Jason.
And he's like, oh my God, you're crazy. Like he says it exactly like that. She's like, oh my God, you're crazy.
Veronica's kind of like, hey, we've lost the plot. She stops filming. She's like, Betty, we did it. And that's kind of what Betty like wakes her up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of just like let him go, I guess. We never
really see I don't know how he got out of there. And if I was him, I'd be traumatized for life.
But thank God it happened.
Thank God it happened.
So we've left the
Dark Betty.
The Dark Betty. We've left Dark Betty. How iconic it is.
Mm-hmm.
We ref cut to the next morning. Fred is doing something in the garage, and Archie hears a little hammer, a little screw, and he goes, huh, what's that? And it's Fred soundproofing the garage for Archie to practice while he's grounded.
Like, he's still grounded. Don't get me wrong.
But Fred is like, wait, I talked with your teacher, Grundy, last night, and like, she seems really nice, and like, she really believes in you, kid. Like, he says something really gross that's like, they didn't look like that back in my day in school. And I went, whoa. But yeah. Basically, Fred is like, I can support your music. I hear you. You're still grounded, but I hear you. And it's really sweet.
And then we cut to Betty has published an expose on the Conquest book.
Yes.
And Chuck and his goon squad are cut from the football team. It's a big moment. They're taking pictures. They're like, he.
The goon squad's out of here.
And the goon squad's out of here.
And then they burn the burn book. Well, the sex book.
The sex book.
The sex book.
It becomes the burn book.
It becomes the burn book. Cheryl and Betty kind of like burn the book, and Cheryl like really apologizes. She's like, I can't speak to Jason's actions. Maybe I didn't know him as well as I thought I did, which is crazy, but like, I'm sorry, Betty, that this happened to you.
Yes.
And then they like have a full moment around the fire of the burning book.
It's kind of really cathartic. I love this.
No, it's really nice. Oh God.
Archie goes to Grundy and is like, hey, thanks for talking to my dad and like telling him I'm good at music.
Does this mean our private lessons can start back up? And she's like,
well, we don't see what she says.
Because
Jughead and Betty are in the blue and gold room. Dilton is coming in and he's like, hey, I have something even better than my shot. If I tell you this, will you promise not to tell everybody that I know that I'm the one that did the shot? Okay, yeah, like we won't say anything, just tell us what you know. And he's like, I saw Grundy's car by the river.
Yeah.
And Jughead's like, oh shit, I wasn't going to tell anybody about that.
And so now it's crazy because like Dilton has unlocked, I think Jughead says Pandora's box. Like
Yes.
now they're gonna have to figure out like why Grundy was there, and probably it's gonna lead to uncovering the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Of the
And
affair.
then Archie and Grundy start hooking up
Yeah. So it's
in
crazy.
the music room,
So
which was the previous picture. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So that's awesome, guys.
And that's how the episode ends.
And that's fully how the episode ends. So unfortunately, we come to an end. But this is episode 3.
We got a lot of pictures.
We got a lot of pics.
This was a very iconic episode.
Yeah, we've got all the way from Archie through Veronica, Betty, Juggy, Cheryl. No Kevin played this episode, but a lot of Alice.
Mm-hmm.
So thank goodness for that. Some Josie. No big Hermione. Fred's on the board.
Penelope is on the board.
So thank God for that. No Reggie, no big Grundy. Dilton's getting a lot of play.
Mm-hmm.
And low-key, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank God for Dark Betty. And thank God for you.
Yes. I love you guys.
Bye.
That's such a compliment because Alice looks so good in this scene.
Oh.
Oh my God.
This. I went too early.
And that's okay.
We can finish talking about this. Anywho,